Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I'm Duncan Wong, and this is actually the last one. But I'm expecting to see you guys tomorrow as well. So, do we have the slides here? Yeah. So, first of all, I'm from Hong Kong again. My company is called CryptoBlock. And we build blockchain technology, we build blockchain solutions. Right now, we are actually building blockchain solutions for all the major banks. And for example, HSBC is one of our major customers right now. But today, I would like to talk about a new project that we are working on. And this project is called Abelian. Abelian, I'm not sure how many of you have heard about this name. It's a very famous mathematician's name. And we are actually building a new cryptocurrency by using his name, Abelian. So today I would like to talk about three major features or three things that actually drive us to build up this kind of new cryptocurrency. The first thing is quantum attack or quantum computing. The second thing is privacy, like zero cash Monero. The third one is called accountability, that I would like to introduce this new feature to the crypto community. So first of all, everybody knows that about the security of cryptocurrency, almost all the existing cryptocurrencies are based on elliptic curve, ECC. And the elliptic curve's security is based on some well-known mathematical problem, for example, the ECDRP, elliptic curve discrete log problem. But the question is that how secure is ECDRP, the elliptic curve discrete log problem, that almost all the cryptocurrencies are currently based on? So in fact, for conventional computers, we are fine, which means if you just increase the key size of those elliptic curve cryptographic systems, then the security actually increases exponentially. For example, if you have a 256-bit ECC, then the security is about 2 to the 128. If you double the size to 512-bit as the key size, then the security actually grows exponentially to 2 to the 256. So that's all fine, and that's why we have been using this for more than 30 years. But in front of quantum computers, would that be still true? And unfortunately, this is no longer true. And actually, if we can just leverage the quantum mechanics and also the quad bits, and it's not something new that actually 24 years ago, Peter Shor have already published a paper talking about how to use some quantum algorithms to break, for example, factorization or discrete logarithm problem in a polynomial time, which means in a very efficient way. So this is actually something that we are worrying about as cryptographer. I've been doing research in cryptography for more than 20 years. And right now, people are actually building the quantum computers, for example, IBM, Google, or some Canadian companies. They are also building these quantum computers, trying to have enough quad bits so that we can actually implement Peter Shor's algorithm in order to break this ECDRP or DRP or even the RSAs based on factorization. So this is one thing, and we can see that actually there are a bunch of facts that we know that the quantum computer is forthcoming, and also even for some of the countries like US, the National Security Agency, 3 years ago, they already announced that they no longer recommend using the ECC for new cryptographic systems. So if we think about how long that we need to keep our cryptocurrencies safe, we're talking about 10 years, 20 years, and even longer. And by using ECC nowadays might not be the best choice. So this is one part. And then the second part about cryptocurrency is that, is cryptocurrency really anonymous? And I believe that for all the people in the crypto community, we know that this is not the case. For example, the Bitcoin, as Satoshi Nakamoto, he or she, or this pseudonym, originally proposed that we try to build up a digital cryptocurrency which is anonymous. But actually, by keeping track of the transaction flow, we will be able to find out the owner of those cryptocurrencies. So that's why there are some privacy coins like Monero, Zero Cash, Dash, all those, a few privacy coins, they try to beef up the privacy level of the cryptocurrency. So we are actually asking ourselves the following question. Can we build a cryptocurrency system so that it is quantum secure, or we call it quantum resistant, and at the same time provide a full privacy. So this is what we try to build. And we try to make use of our research results and our knowledge as well as our implementation experience to build this new Abelian coin. And actually, if you just look at the market size of this privacy coin, you can see that there is a huge demand of privacy tokens. And the market growth of these privacy coins actually outpaces the growth of the conventional ones. So the next thing I would like to introduce to you guys is that how we build this thing. And just like Bitcoin, we are not going to use some really far-fetching new technology to build it, because when talking about technology, well-proven is very important. For example, I've been doing research for more than 20 years in cryptography, and I've been doing research in post-quantum cryptography, especially about the lattice-based cryptography for more than 10 years. So what we try to do is that we use some well-proven with security models to build up this background. So for example, in Abelian coin, we are going to use linkable ring signature that the Monero is also using. Actually, I'm one of the co-inventors of linkable ring signature back to 2004 at that time. And so besides the linkable ring signature, we also use cryptographic commitment scheme as also zero knowledge proof in order to build up this kind of post-quantum, fully secure cryptocurrency. And then the third feature I would like to introduce to you guys is about accountability. So accountability is something that we have been talking a lot with our clients, those financial institutions. They are all talking about the AML, KYC, and also how the regulatory bodies will be able to have some kinds of surveillance of the activities. But in our, for example, the cryptocurrency, usually we just think that this is kind of like not compatible with each other, right? So we always try to make sure that it's totally decentralized. We have this kind of like decentralized POW or POS, all those consensus algorithm. But actually, if we just think in more detail about the privacy aspect, we can actually introduce one more level of privacy to the crypto community. And that's why we like to introduce this new privacy level, which is called the privacy with optional accountability. So what we mean is the following. If you just think about the Bitcoin privacy level as the pseudo privacy, which means if you want privacy, you need to keep changing your wallet addresses. That's pseudo privacy. But the transaction flow is traceable or linkable. Another level is called full privacy, which means for Monero or Zero Cash, the coin addresses as well as the values are all hidden. So something in between is the following. To the public, the coins can have full privacy, which means to the public, your coin addresses are hidden, and also your values are hidden. But you can also pick an authority, maybe a regulatory body, or if it is used for enterprise, you may also consider it as the enterprise authority. And for the enterprise authority, the level can actually lower down to the pseudo privacy, which means for the authority can trace the transaction flows. But for the public, it's the same as the full privacy. It's the same as Zero Cash, or it's the same as Monero. And actually, we published a paper. We spent a long time to work out that paper. And in that paper, we give the proofs, we give the algorithms, and also the security model to describe how to achieve this privacy with optional accountability. So about our team, myself, I have been a professor for almost 15 years, and then now I set up a company focusing on blockchain. Besides that, I also have some students, and they happen to be professors nowadays, and they are working at U of Wollongong in Australia, in China, Shanghai Jiao Tong University, and also some of my long-term collaborator at NTU Singapore. And this is actually our team to build up this new cryptocurrency. So as a summary, we would like to introduce three major features or paradigm to the crypto community The first one is that we would like to have this cryptocurrency which is quantum safe, and it's not an option, it's a default, it's quantum safe. The second one is that we would like to have 3 levels of privacy, the original pseudo privacy or the highest full privacy, but also give users an option to have this privacy and the third feature, accountability. So this is what we are building, and we already have all the designs ready and also published onto this white paper. So if you are interested in going through this white paper, and that's our webpage, and we are also doing the ICO right now. So I keep it short. Thank you very much, and good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.